Hello and welcome back to the TeamMETA College Conference Spring Showdown. I'll be your host, Austin, and today we've got a double header for you on the pitch. It's going to be Davenport University up against the University of Connecticut, and at the same time we will be having, of course, Dayton University up against the side of the University of Kentucky C team. So we're going to have some great players jumping down onto the pitch today. We're going to have some real high-class matches, and I, for one, can't wait to see how these two best-of-5s are going to turn out. Are we going to see a sweep? Are we going to see an action-packed Game 5? Or are we going to get something in the middle? Well, I don't know. You don't know. And let's jump down to the pitch so we can see which two of these four teams are going to come out ahead and victorious tonight in the best-of-5s. We go into game number 1 of 5. Davenport University on the blue, University of Connecticut on the orange, and straight into the first kickoff. Phantom MSX already getting this very deep over into the Davenport side. Manages to find it over into that corner, wants to try and center it down, but Cardinal Trap won't allow. It's back over towards mid. Silverback goes to take the initial touch, can't quite read it. It's back over to Tennis on the wall, and TeamMETA able to just steal it away and start to get this back over towards the Davenport side. It's mid. Silverback finds it, gets it back towards net, and it's a quick denial from Tennis Fan to get it back over to this wall and safely away from net. Phantom manages to boom it to the opposite wall. Tennis goes to meet, manages to force a 50. Stays high. Silverback wants to get this over in front of the net, though, and TeamMETA, he was setting up to try and get it directly off that pass, but not going to be able to, as it's quickly cleared away. Phantom wants to try and get this out of the corner, finds the ball, tries to pinch it over. Pinch successful, but a little bit too far past net. Silverback now to push up. Gets it deep over into the Connecticut side, and Phantom can't quite read it there off the corner, but Silverback jumping up, able to get that over. Tennis, able to get it as TeamMETA goes by. Now you're seeing Phantom just looking to try and play this again up mid and actually gets Silverback off the ball. No boost there on Silverback either, so no smoke, an opportunity, but can't quite hit it. It's back over as Phantom wants to go up, touches it away, gets it over into this right corner, and Tennis Fan looking just to try and touch it away. He's successful. TeamMETA can't quite get the clear. It's back over. Silverback. He's able to get it, though, lobs it back towards net, and No Smoke just going to kill it over off the backboard. Oh, and it's not going to find its way in. Cardinal Trap there, trying to take advantage of a sly little situation, but not able to find a way to get that ball inside the net. Now, 2 minutes expired, nobody with a goal on the board yet. Silverback wants to try and play this one out, sees it over into the left wall. It's finding its way over towards Tennis, and TeamMETA now looking to try and play it away. Gets it over, back to the corner. Phantom still here, chasing it, fires one off, but TeamMETA just goes straight up, manages to kill it into the ceiling, and now it's back over into the Connecticut side. Silverback finding the ball, manages to center it back up towards mid. Phantom goes forward, takes an initial clear, gets it over to the right corner, and now No Smoke trying to drop it down to Phantom. A little bit too far behind him, and that's going to leave him with a very awkward ball, but he manages to reboost, gets it over to No Smoke, touches it mid, and Phantom looking just to set it back up into a pass. No Smoke finding it, gets it past 2, and that's in front of the net, but nobody can find a way in until Phantom MSX comes through, sees the ball with a wide open lot for real estate, and manages to stake his claim. The first goal found from Connecticut, and now with 2 minutes to go, they just need to try and look at holding this lead. No Smoke trying to follow up on the push of Phantom there, perhaps thinking that there would be an opportunity to strike. It doesn't quite come, and Phantom looks to try and get that back over towards box, but an unfortunate mistake gives a prime opportunity to score here for the Davenport side, and they'll take full advantage of it. Cardinal Trap comes through, equalizes up the score line at 1-all. And now we're seeing Davenport, they've struck back Connecticut. They need to look to get their lead back, but Davenport, they're going to look to try and change fate a bit. They want to try and put another one in themselves, turn the tides back in their favor. And No Smoke gonna have the opportunity to play. Gets the ball. Phantom can't quite read it there off the wall, but it's back over towards Tennis in mid. No Smoke to follow, lobs it back towards box, and that's a nicely secure goal. A crisp, clean shot, nothing but net over from the wall, and that lands itself in, and with 90 seconds to go, UConn take the lead again. TeamMETA goes forward to try and steal that ball away as it centers itself over towards the backboard, but Tennis fan not going to allow it for long. Silverback looking to try and get this centered up, but Phantom, a nice boom back over into the blue end, and that's going to be very precarious here, where Davenport look to try and clear this away. They get a demo that'll lessen up some of the offensive pressure a bit, but it's back over. No Smoke wants to fire off a shot, isn't going to be allowed to, but Phantom finds the ball and lobs it over the defenders to find a 2-goal lead now, 3-1 for the University of Connecticut with only a minute left to play for. Cardinal trap. He wants to try and get this attack underway immediately. They aren't out of this yet, Davenport. They just need to try and get 2 quick goals to get themselves back into it. TeamMETA looking for the initial center, doesn't quite manage to find it. Cardinal does. Silverback's there. Oh, it's met in a 50, and Tennis denies, but TeamMETA is there, and he fires it off, manages to sink it in from the skybox, and just like that, 30 seconds left to go, and the gap closes back down to 1. Davenport, they want to try and get one more, fight this out in overtime, and No Smoke manages to touch that ball away before Cardinal can slap it over towards the box. Tennis wants to try and play this over off the wall. He finds an initial touch. TeamMETA goes up, meets him. Phantom firing one off, though, and that's not going to be a miss. Straight into the box, and that's going to be a 2-goal lead once again with only 14 seconds this time for Davenport. It's looking unlikely, but if they can get a quick goal, they could put themselves in a prime position. But unfortunately, the time ticking further and further down, and that'll do it. The University of Connecticut, a strong initial showing. They hold on to game 1 and come ahead with a 1-game lead heading in to the second. Connecticut leading 1-0, a dominating game 1, but can Davenport strike back here? We're straight into game number 2. The ball finds its way over towards the right wall. Cardinal Trout wants to try and play it away, finds himself an early shot, but Phantom slaps himself over right along the bottom goal line and touches it away. Now it's back over towards the Davenport side. No Smoke trying to put up a center, but Cardinal gonna read it right off the backboard. Silverback wants to follow through and maintain possession, but he's not able to beat it out. It's back over. No Smoke, a hit back up the middle. It finds its way over towards No Smoke again. And Silverback looking for a way to get this away. Cardinal Trap chasing the ball, finds its way over to Phantom. Oh, he tries to get it down to a teammate to redirect it in, but Tennis can't quite find the touch. Now it's back over into this blue corner. They're trying to find a way to get this out, and in front of the Connecticut goal, Davenport, and they found a way, but they can't connect onto a shot. Now it's back over. Cardinal Trap takes it into the orange corner. Tennis fan just floats off and really is able to get a nice touch away, but TeamMETA there to try and throw a spanner in the works, manages to get himself back onto the ball. Silverback having to drop all the way back, and he's still able to touch that ball away. A shot fired off, and TeamMETA is there to deny. Tennis fan now looking to try and get this back over into the box, but he has to set it up, and No Smoke just gonna chase that one into the corner. It finds its way up towards the ceiling. Phantom to follow through, but he doesn't quite hit the shot. That ball's so close to the Connecticut net, and No Smoke, he doesn't quite hit the connection on the clear, but he's there. He has full boost. He's just playing this slowly, and he's able to read out against Cardinal and get that ball away. Silverback killing it over towards the blue corner. Tennis now looking to try and touch it away, but No Smoke, he finds himself near the ball once again. Silverback trying to drop it down into a center, and Cardinal, he finds it right along the line, but Tennis fans there to deny. It's back over towards the left wall. Tennis, a nice hit over into the blue corner, just centering this ball up, and Silverback, he has to be gentle but cautious. He gets that ball away. Cardinal meets it over in the corner. Tennis and Phantom looking for an opportunity opportunity, and Phantom strikes, but it doesn't find the inside of the crossbar. It's back over to Tennis. Over off the ceiling, TeamMETA looking just to try and hit it fast away, finds itself over towards the right wall, and TeamMETA once again just waiting in this orange side back line, trying to see if anything will happen, and no smoke. He gets the ball. It's almost past 2, but Silverback, he manages to get himself a wheel on the ball and touches it out of harm's way. Now he's trying to chase this out, finds it over into the corner. Silver touching it back towards mid. Cardinal follows. It's over off the right wall, and Cardinal, he's trying just to keep this ball offensive, keeps it towards mid. Silverback finds it, fires off a shot, but it's slow. Tennis there to deny. Back towards mid. Phantom wants to try and chase this one out. No smoke, managing to find himself the ball, dropping directly in front of him, but it's over off the corner. Phantom falling back, has to try and replay this, manages to bounce the ball over off his hood once, but Silverback playing it immediately back over towards the orange box. Tennis to follow, gets it over into the blue corner now, and Phantom wants to try and slip it by, but not going to be allowed as TeamMETA immediately tries to play this ball away. We're into the final 100 seconds. No goals have been scored yet here in game number 2, and Davenport, they are looking still for that one that will give them the ability to equalize up the series. But Connecticut, if they can strike, they'll be the ones leading this series 2-0. The opportunity for a clean sweep will very well be on the table, and Silverback, he sees an open net opportunity, tries to go forward to take it, but with limited boost, he goes for the shot he can. It's back over. Tennis wants to try and hit this away, but Cardinal not going to allow it to be out of the orange end for long. Follows this through, manages to get it back into the corner, but now we're in the final minute. We might see a 0-goal overtime here in game number 2. We didn't see it in game 1. They started getting off to a little bit too much of a lead there on the con side, and Cardinal, he might be the one to come in here and shut down the offense, but he's not. It's back over. Tennis, he wants to try and get this back towards net, and it's forced there. Oh my goodness, a backflip from Silverback trying to get that ball away, and it ends up just ramming it right back over towards the net. A 1-goal lead now, in Connecticut, 30 seconds away from the time limit, have found themselves a lead. It's touched by Tennis over towards that right wall. He wants to try and play this out. It finds itself to the right of net, and now it's just TeamMETA looking to play it away. Phantom, he tries to get that ball away, but TeamMETA, a good touch just to keep it offensive here in the corner, but time's ticking down. 10 seconds left, and we find ourselves back over. Silverback and Cardinal trying to find a way to get this ball out. This is their last attempt at equalizing up this game. Silverback tries to go through and take it, but the ball stays down, and the University of Connecticut get themselves up to match point. Connecticut now on match point, looking to try and take this series away in a sweep, and for Davenport, they're going to be looking to try and get their first game on the board here, try to start up a reverse sweep. Cardinal trap goes high, manages to meet the ball on the backboard, but Phantom drops it directly in front of the net. It bounces along that bottom crossbar, and now it's back over. Tennis keeps it in the corner. Phantom trying to follow, doesn't quite hit the connection, so TeamMETA able to take this ball. It's wide open, but Silverback, an unfortunate bump there against TeamMETA, keeps them from taking advantage of the situation. Now it's back into the blue corner. No smoke finding this ball. He wants to try and deliver it into a shot. Tennis tries to come forward to receive that pass, but it's not quite there in time. Now it's back over. Cardinal looking to try and touch this away. It's over into the orange corner now, but he loses his life for the push, and Phantom has to fall back as No Smoke looks to flick it away. He does, but Cardinal there, newly respawned, able to find the ball, and with it find a chance to try and get it away. Phantom over onto it. TeamMETA looks to try and get this over towards the wall. Not going to be allowed to. Cardinal Trap just wants to play this back away from mid. Phantom chasing it up, doesn't quite manage to find its way on, but No Smoke, he wants to center that ball over. Again, it's just high, can't be set down in front of the net, and Tennis, he's trying still to find this pass. He does, but Cardinal's there just a half second sooner. Gets the ball away, manages to find its way over in front of the orange net though, and TeamMETA takes the first goal. A nice passing play out of the Davenport side sets them up for success. And now they find themselves the 1-goal leaders. 90 seconds here into game 3. Connecticut going to be looking to try and equalize this as fast as they can. They want to try and win this out in 3, of course, but right now, Davenport, strong possession, finding the ball very well within striking distance, and Cardinal Trap will hit it. Another passing play out of Davenport. They find another goal. That one only takes 17 seconds, and now we're straight back into the action. No Smoke, the ball going a little bit too close for comfort. He has to try and slow down, manages to get a good touch away, but now Silverback finding the ball over in the corner. He lobs it back over, but it gets saved off the inner crossbar. Cardinal, he wants to keep this ball offensive, gets it over into the orange corner. It finds its way to Phantom. Now it finds its way up towards Tennis, but Tempest not going to allow them to take that hit, Connecticut. They go forward. A shot banged off. It's almost in, but it's off the crossbar. Tennis finds it. It's back over along this blue corner. Phantom wants to try and fire off a shot. He actually just lobs it up. Wants to try to set up No Smoke, perhaps, but it's going to be the Davenport players that get set up instead, and set up they are. A hat trick to nothing as they get a 3-0 lead. They were goalless in game number 2. Connecticut winning by 1, and now they lead 4-0 right into the second half. Davenport showing that they can play some car ball. They are here to win it, and they are looking strong here in game number 3. They want to get through to the game 4 and, of course, a game 5, giving themselves a chance at the win. And No Smoke, seeing this ball approaching towards him, turns back, manages to get an initial touch back over into the Davenport half, but it's finding its way over into the corner. Tennis has to take an initial touch. Cardinal gets it past him. He's looking to try and set it back up over towards mid, but it bounces a little far off the wall. Now it's over towards the right. Silver killing it into the ramp, manages to keep that ball high, but it's not going to keep it out of the arms of the waiting Connecticut players. They're trying to find a way into this goal, and still that 4-goal lead, just such a monstrous wall between Connecticut and their clean sweep. And now we're into the final 100 seconds. This very well could just be game 3 going uncontested over towards Davenport. They are putting up some strong numbers here in this one. Look at how many shots they've been able to fire off in the time we've been talking. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. Just pull it up real quick for you guys as we see quite a bit of play coming out from every single Davenport player, but Phantom, he decides he wants to make a play too. Takes it from the ramp over on the right side, dribbles it into the air, and manages to deliver in a first. 70 seconds to go. 3 goals now is all that Connecticut needs, but they need to still find them. They are digging for buried treasure, and they still just need to find the X. And Cardinal Trap, he's looking to just try and close the door as fast as it opened. Wants to try and get that 4-goal lead back. Isn't quite able to do it. No Smoke chasing this ball over into the blue corner now. Silverback wants to go forward and take a hit. Cardinal Trap gets touched away, and that ball, if it had been allowed just a little bit closer to box, almost certainly would have gone in, but it's not. Now 40 seconds. Still, these Connecticut players chasing this ball over along the Davenport back end, and can you really blame them? They're down 3 goals with 30 seconds to play for. They need to chase these shots, and unfortunately for them, the ball finds its way pressed up against their back line once again. 20 seconds. No Smoke finds the ball, no boost, but he manages to touch it back mid. Silverback intercepting, and that ball finds its way into the Connecticut end. Game number 3, a strong showing from Davenport, uncontested for a good majority of that game, and now they've managed to strike themselves a point on the scoreboard. The series score at 2-1 now, as Davenport take their first and secure a game 4. Connecticut's still leading 2-1, but Davenport able to strike back. They find the first of 3 necessary to pull off the reverse sweep, and the ball immediately played over in front of the Connecticut net, but Tempest can't quite find the shot, doesn't have the boost. That ball a little bit too high there on the play. Cardinal waiting back towards mid. Silver wants to go forward and try to take the initial shot, but not able. Now it's back over. Cardinal wants to fire one off. He's met there right up against a Connecticut defender, and No Smoke, he comes in from the heavens to deny the shot from Silverback. We're still at 0-0, and that one a little too close for comfort along the Connecticut side, but they're able to pull off the save. No Smoke once again going to be the one to prevent that offense from progressing any further. And now back over towards the blue corner. Tennis gets himself the ball in front of the net. No Smoke trying to see if he'll be able to come through and take the shot, but not going to be able to. But Tennis fan will. Gets the ball centered right back over to him and floats in above the goal to smack it down for the first lead of game number 4. Connecticut, they don't want to go to a game 5. They want to close it out here and now. And Phantom denying a shot along the backboard, looking to help out that goal. No Smoke finding it back over. It's touched just past him, and Tennis, he's actually able to get there off a nice little touch up from No Smoke. Now Silverback chasing the ball in mid, but Phantom not going to allow him to be uncontested. No Smoke fires one off. It's to the right of net, but Tennis, he wants to chase this. It's over into the blue corner. It finds itself over into the opposite corner now as No Smoke still chasing this one out. 90 seconds expired, still only the 1 goal to show for it, but Tempmis, he's going to fire one off. It finds itself floating down in front of the net. Phantom touches it away, and No Smoke manages to secure the clear. Now we find ourselves back over into the Davenport side, right along the ceiling. Silverback trying to make a play happen. He gets it past one, but No Smoke denies. Now it's back over in front, and No Smoke, he denies and he secures. He gets in the second goal of the game, and now Connecticut, they lead by 2. Silverback, he's looking to just try and insert himself over here into the Connecticut side of the pitch. He's able to do so successfully, but the ball still finding its way back over towards the wall. Cardinal Trap looking just to trap this ball over into the orange corner. Tempmis seeing it coming his way, traps it into the opposite, and now looking perhaps for a center in mid. But Phantom, he sees that, manages to get himself into the play, forces a 50. It pinches straight back over towards the Davenport net, and now it's Silverback looking to just insert himself back into this play. Gets the ball straight up to Tempmis. Cardinal Trap finds it, lobs one off, and Phantom, he has to do the theatrics, gets himself up in the net and denies the ball straight towards the ceiling. We're at the halftime mark, and still a 2-0 lead for the UConn side. They are leading this game and the series and are looking to just try and continue this lead into a win. Tennis wants to go forward and take an initial hit. It ends up being a pass to Phantom that doesn't connect, gets stolen away, and Cardinal Trap starts to close that door. The first of 2 necessary found by Davenport, and now they only need 1 more to equalize this game and secure overtime for themselves. It's back over. Silverback, he wants to take the ball and try to play it over towards the backboard, and he succeeds. A beautiful double touch directly down into the bottom left of net, and Davenport, they tie it back up with that. Connecticut, they need to try and find 1 more goal to get themselves back in the lead. Davenport, they need the same exact thing. We're almost in the final 100 seconds, and Silverback just going to deny a shot. It's back over. No Smoke trying to center something up. He manages hitting it a little bit too far, and Cardinal out of the way. Phantom there to chase. Tempmis able to force a 50 and keep that ball away from net, but Tennis keeping it suspended. It's over along the backboard, and there's Phantom. He comes through. He secures the 1-goal lead once again, and now UConn up 3-2 with 91 to go. Tempmis wants to try and get that ball away, a little too premature on that jump. Tennis now to follow, sees it going back over his way. No Smoke as well, the last man back, able to jump up and deny that ball from going any further. Silverback and Tempmis see the ball rolling past them, and No Smoke as well, but he sees Tempmis approaching as well, needs to deny that shot. He does, and all 3 blue side players in front of this net trying to find a shot. They can't quite do it, and now it's back over. Silverback taking possession in mid. It's Phantom. He tries to take advantage of the opposition to flick it into the box, but it's just barely denied, and now back towards mid. No Smoke finding himself with the ball, wants to try and play this away, sees it now over towards the ramp, and with Tennis fan trying to chase this one out, he sees it now with No Smoke on his end, trying to just get a passing play going, but the ball now over into the Connecticut side. Davenport 30 seconds. They need one goal to get themselves into overtime, and right now nobody on Connecticut seems willing to give it. No Smoke finds the ball, gets it deep into the Davenport side. Now it's over in mid. Silver, he fires one off back towards the net, and it's just barely off, saved by the crossbar, and now back over, finding its way into the backboard, finding its way touched back down mid. Silverback, a rare miss, and Tempest trying to get this back in play. It's over towards the wall. Phantom, he's just going to touch it down towards the blue side of the pitch. Tennis fires one off. Cardinal keeps it up, and this is it, the last play of game number 4. If Davenport can't pull it off, it'll be a Connecticut win, and that's exactly what it is. 3-2, Connecticut take the match 3-1. Jumping straight into the first game on the blue, we've got the Dayton University Flyers up against the University of Kentucky C team on the orange. Happy goes down for an initial shot over against that Dayton goal, but Ant gonna be playing in the back. The ball getting cleared away. Now it's finding its way over into the Kentucky backline. Carrot trying to slip it in, but not gonna be allowed as Happy kills it back over towards the corner. Rick wants to try and slip that one past, won't quite be able to. Now Supreme wants to get into the action, but Ant able to force a 50, manages to get that ball pretty far over into the blue side corner, but Carrot ready for it, manages to catch it off the ramp, gets it back over centered. Ant clears it away, and now it's back towards mid. Rick, he wants to try and get this away. Supreme wants to just wait in this goal, see if he'll be able to start getting a clear, and sees Ant now trying to block, but not able to. It's back over towards mid. Booga taking a shot. Rick's there to block. It's back to the orange corner. Carrot's here with the ball, wants to center it up towards mid. Success! Supreme lobs one off, but it doesn't quite make it in. Rick follows up from the wings and manages to slap in the first goal. 4 minutes left to go, and the Dayton Flyers taking the first here. We jump down now into the corner as the ball finding itself centered in front of the Kentucky goal again. Supreme, he wants to fire off a shot. It finds the crossbar. Rick to try and follow it in, but it just can't quite find the target. Now Ant, he wants to get this ball away. Manages to actually wait that corner boost out, so now he's able to be refueled for this clear. Takes it there against 2 aggressors and manages to keep the ball out of harm's way, but Carrot keeping it cornered. Rick now looking to fire and does manage to get it down to Supreme, who finds a wide open net, but it's off the crossbar. Rick manages to get it back over towards the box. Carrot's in mid, ready and waiting, and Ant now wants to follow this one over. Tries to set it up, finds its way over. Rick now just looking to get it back towards mid. Happy intercepts, but Carrot waiting for it in the corner. Booga seeing it go off the hood, manages to get it back over in front of the box, and Ant, he's there. Sees a wide open net and opportunity and strikes to get that first goal on the board for Kentucky. We've got a tied game now, but a fast shot from Supreme. He fires it off from the wall, and just like that, it's back to 2-1 Dayton. They might have been equalized, but they take that lead back, and now they're holding the lead one more time. They're trying just to capitalize. Supreme fires off a shot. He's not quite able to find it over towards the box. Booga now wants to try and play this one up pitch. Rick seeing it, manages to touch it back over, doesn't quite manage to connect there, Carrot, but Supreme forcing the issue, and he dunks it straight down, sees it going over to the backboard, meets it up high, and slaps it straight down over the line to secure up a 3-1 lead now for Dayton, perhaps a 4-1. Oh, and a miraculous save inside that goal, bangs it off the inside of the crossbar to touch it away, and now it's back over. Carrot finds it in the corner, wants to center it up towards mid, sees Supreme following that ball. Is it on target? It's not, and Carrot trying to use his situation to just maneuver himself over in front of the ball, nearly manages to score in a goal. Now it's back over towards the wall, back up high. Carrot stealing it away from Ant. It's not on target, but Carrot once again looking to set something up. Supreme's here to help him, but Rick needs to fall back a bit. Can't leave his goal entirely open, and with 2 minutes left to play with, there is plenty of time for Kentucky to try and equalize this one up. But Supreme now gets the ball up high. Carrot intercepting, gets it back over mid. Rick tries to insert himself, but Booga doesn't allow it, but it's still over towards the wall. The Kentucky side, they take the ball. They want to try and get it out. Supreme not going to allow. Just bangs it back over towards the wall. Rick following. Keeps it towards the ceiling. Carrot wants to follow this one over. Manages to touch it mid. Rick tries to redirect it on, but he can't quite find it. Ant now looking to try and set something up, but it's to Carrot, and that's going to be a fourth. A series of well-placed shots coming out of the Dayton side leads directly into a 4-1 lead. And now down 3 goals. It would be quite an effort out of the Kentucky side to get back in. Siri evidently thinks I'm talking to her, but now it's back over. Happy wants to play this one in, manages to get it to Ant, and he slaps a goal into the top right of the box. 2 goals now, the only thing separating these two teams, but they need to try and find them fast here for the orange-sided Kentuckians. They need to try and find, well, at least something here as we go now into the final 60 seconds. 2 goals to get overtime. It's over towards mid. Rick gonna just get another little additional hit just to hit it straight back over and away from net. Booga finding the ball, wants to try and set this up, but it goes over towards Supreme. He manages to intercept it at the wall. That one's back towards the backboard. Rick's waiting. Oh my goodness, the ball bangs off the inside of the crossbar, and now it's back to Carrot. He finds the ball. It gets kept up high. Ant wants to follow this over. Supreme manages to see the ball drop down and wants to try and get it back over in front of that orange net, and right now all that Dayton needs to do is kill some time, and they are doing a great job of it. Look at this, 15 seconds left to go. And unfortunately for the UKC team, this will be game 1 going the way of the blue-sided Dayton Flyers. They hold on to their lead. They secure an even bigger one than they started with. And now they conclude game number 1 as your victors 4-2. And we will jump into game number 2 momentarily. The University of Dayton taking game number 1. We hop into the first kickoff of game 2, where the University of Kentucky going to be looking to try and tie this back up. The ball over towards mid. Carrot goes forward to meet Happy into a 50. Ant following it along that wall, wants to try and set it up into a shot, but it's going to be quickly killed to the wall by Supreme. Happy still here, ready and waiting, but with low boost, has to drop back, manages to grab a full pad on his way out, but now it's back over into the corner. Supreme, a touch off that corner just to get the ball a little bit further up pitch. Rick from corporate getting it centered up, and Ant wants to try and come through and smack it in, but it's quickly saved away by a teammate before that can happen. Booga finds himself an open opportunity, and the demo comes through, but a second too late. UKC, they take the first goal, and just like that, 33 seconds in, we have a 1-goal lead. Booga back over towards this right wall. Rick wanting just to roll this one out. It's over to the backboard now as Ant goes forward to claim it, and can't quite find the double touch, but Happy's there, wants to try and fire one off. It's off the crossbar. Rick there to deny. Able to get the ball away and back over into the Kentucky end, where Dayton's still hunting for their equalizing goal. Rick finding it, manages to keep this ball in the corner. Happy just trying to get it away, but Supreme not going to allow it. Booga, he'd been patiently waiting back over in the net. He's able to take his first initial hit away. He is able to start getting it out, but the defenders and the aggressors out of the Dayton side just forcing this ball even further up against the orange backline. Carrot, a touchback mid. Rick there to support. Rick able to force a 50, actually. Keep that ball in the offensive end of this Kentucky side goal. Ant managing to kill it high. That's centering up in front, though, so Happy goes forward. Takes an initial hit to clear it away. Rick just wants to follow this over off the left wall. Manages to get up, find himself a hit onto it, but 3 minutes to go. Supreme manages to go forward, hits it off the corner, sends it straight back into the Kentucky side, and Ant gonna go forward to reclaim possession, wants to keep this one away. 2 minutes gone. We still only have 1 goal to show for it. Kentucky being the ones to strike first, and at the moment, strike only, as they lead 1-0. Now it's back over into mid, but Carrot, he meets there against the clear. He manages just to press the issue long enough, forces that ball to roll into the bottom right of net at really quite impressive speed. And just like that, we're all equalized up 1-1. 15 seconds away from the halftime mark. Booga gonna find the ball back over towards mid. Rick comes through to take an initial hit. Supreme to follow as well. Ant tries to go over, manages to get a touch before anybody can follow up. Rick touching it before Booga can get there, and Supreme wants to follow as well. He beats out Happy. That ball's going over in front of an open net. It finds its way centered, but Ant's in the way. Not gonna allow that ball to slip past, and nobody wants to force the issue, so Dayton, they force the ball back mid. Booga wants to clear it away. Supreme's here to try and slip it in. He finds himself a center, and there's Rick. He wants to try and get the touch in, but it's not quite gonna work out. Back over towards Happy now, who wants to drive this straight back in to the Dayton end. They want to try and take their lead right back, Kentucky C. And now we're going to see if they're able to do it. Ant, he gets the ball mid. Booga takes the initial hit, but Supreme steals away. It's back towards mid. Happy and Supreme looking to try and center this one up. Happy wants to deny. Oh, it's Carrot. Tries to smack it in, but not quite going to be able to find it in time. Happy back to the corner, sees the ball. Ant wants to fire it off. It's into the backboard, and just like that, we enter the final 100 seconds, 1-1. Still a situation where any goal scored could be the game decider. But right now, it is an even match between these two teams. Nobody giving up an inch and not allowing anybody to take a mile. It's right back over. Ant wants to take it back over. It's banged off, but it doesn't find its way into the crossbar. It's back over towards Carrot. Now he's looking to just try and deny Happy any sort of center. He can't quite do it, but he manages to at least take its pressure away from net as Rick clears it away. Supreme wants to try and boom this away. Booga's there. Ant getting forced a little bit further into the play. Supreme wants to try and double touch this down, and he does, but it's not back towards net. Rick, a near miss on the ball, does leave Carrot with this, now looking to try and get this on, but it's back to Supreme. Finds the ball, fires one off, it's denied by Happy. Rick to follows, gets it on target. Oh, but Ant, he's just gonna kill it high. Rick once again forcing this issue, gets it in front of net. Carrot's able to drop it right in front, but it's hit away immediately by Happy, and now Supreme coming in to try to get the show back on the road. Booga, another touch away. Supreme, he grabbed a full boost there. He's able to force the issue again, and this time the shot not gonna be denied. Manages to find itself straight under that top crossbar, and just like that, Dayton straight back. A beautiful shot from Supreme to give them the 1-goal lead back. 25 seconds to go, and the Kentucky C team, they are trailing by 1. They have the opportunity to try and equalize this back up still and get into overtime, but it's looking dangerous. Happy gets the ball over into the Dayton backline, but Ant, he wants to try and chase this one out, finds the ball on his hood, has to try and dribble this over towards the left wall. Carrot wants to chase it. Ant keeps it high, and the time is gone. This ball needs to stay up, and Supreme, he wants to kill it. Happy takes it back to the corner. Rick wants to follow this through, and he kills it into the corner. Dayton take game 2 and find themselves at match point. Dayton now sitting at a 2-0 lead. They're on match point, and Kentucky gonna have to fight back hard here in game 3 to put themselves at a shot. Oh, a nice shot to try and open it up immediately, but a shot to try and get back into a reverse sweep. Now Rick finds the ball over into his own corner. Booga wants to try and fire one off. He does, but Carrot quick to deny. It's over to that corner as Ant looking to try and center one up towards mid. Happy sees the attempt and wants to go forward to assist, but can't quite find the timing on it. It's quickly boomed away, and now it's back over. Ant, it's over to this wall. Carrot wants to try and play it away, and it's finding its way stopped back over in mid. Carrot not able to get that ball another touch in time, but Supreme there to deny any sort of aggression. It's back over towards Ant now, who wants to play it over off the backboard. It finds itself centered, and Happy, he goes up for the shot. Supreme floats there in front of the net, manages to touch it away, and Booga, he wants to try and get that shot right back on. It's over. A fast counterplay coming out of Dayton as they force this ball close over up against the Kentucky goal, and Supreme has to be the one to cut off the play. Happy, a near miss there on the ball, gets it back over to this backboard into the Dayton side, and Carrot a quick touch to the left. Now it's Supreme looking to try and deny any sort of play. Sees the ball jumping down on top of him. He goes forward, takes a shot. Oh, and it's quickly denied by Happy. Back over to the orange corner as Carrot wants to try and slip it by. Rick, once again, you can see out of the Dayton side just continuing up this offensive pressure. They're just firing off shot after shot and trying to just put up a wall of offense that Kentucky, is going to have to try and overcome. Dayton doing a good job at it so far. You can see another just shot Another shot rally really happening over here near the wall. And Rick, it's back over. It's just off that top crossbar, but now Bugga, he finds the ball. Is that on? Oh my goodness, it's off the left crossbar. Oh, and Ant, he tries to fire one off and slip it in while there's no defenders, but it gets met by one back just in the nick of time, and now it's back over. Supreme kills the ball down towards mid. It finds its way over towards Rick, who manages to kill it now towards the wall. Carrot wants to follow through, but a misjudge there on the jump. Probably not enough boost either, but he refuels, gets it back over to Supreme. It's over off this backboard. Rick wants to try and slip it in, finds it again, tries to set up the double touch, but can't quite find a shot towards net. Carrot tries to fire one off. It's denied immediately, and now it's back over into this blue corner. You can see Rick following through, wants to fire off a shot. It's into the right crossbar, and now Ant just trying to touch it back over towards the Kentucky side. We've met the halftime mark and exceeded it, and still no goals here from either side in this game number 3. Oh, but this one, a very dangerous opportunity for the Kentucky side to strike, but it quickly gets cleared away back over into the Dayton end, or into the Kentucky end, sorry. As now they want to push it into the Dayton. Ant finds a shot, but a double save coming out of Rick, and Supreme just managing to block that ball from getting any further towards the net. And now it's just bouncing along the midline, almost into the final 100 seconds. We could see this game go into a 0-goal overtime if these teams remain as steadfast as they have been. Now it's back over. Happy, a clearing shot just to get it further into the Dayton end, and Bugga, a demo there onto Supreme. That opens up the net. Ant gonna pick up the ball and air dribble it in to secure up the first goal 90 seconds away from the end. It's back over into mid. Carrot wants to start this off with an attack. Gets it into the corner, but can't quite force the issue. Ant gonna claim a kill there onto him as well, and it's just back over to Rick. He fires one off. Ant and Happy able to get back, get that ball away. Carrot wants to try and center this up. Sees Rick in mid. Supreme as well. They double commit onto the ball, and now Bugga finding himself with an opportunity. Wins out against Supreme. Wants to try and center it up, but Carrot meets it in the corner. Happy sees the clear, though, and fires one off into the top right of the box. Manages to secure up the second goal, and just like that, the University of Kentucky C are leading 2-0. Here with a minute left to play for Dayton. They need to find 2 quick goals, and we've seen them really just start up these rallies where they fire off shot after shot, but they need to be able to land 2 quick ones if they want to keep themselves this sweep chance in the match. Sitting at match point again, just a friendly reminder, Dayton leading 2-0 so far in the best of 5. If Kentucky can win it, they stay alive, and with 30 seconds to go, it's looking more and more likely that that will be the outcome. Supreme gets the ball over in a scoring position, but Ant quickly denies it back to the corner, dribbles it away, and now it's into the Dayton end. Ant gets it back over towards mid. Rick wants to try and just clear this away, finds it into the corner. Happy wants to follow, manages to get it high, and Supreme, he goes along that wall, wants to try and hit it away. 5 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen, and that'll do it. The University of Kentucky C, they hold on, and now they're going to go into game number 4 with a fighting chance, 2-1 favoring Dayton. Dayton leading 2-1, but Kentucky's starting to make their comeback happen. We jump into game 4, and we're straight into the first kickoff. Ant gonna have the ball bounce right over towards him, but Rick, a fast follow-up to manage to center that right along the bottom goal line. Carrot meets it over along the ceiling. Rick wants to still follow this one through, fires one off. It's over off the backboard, and Carrot's there. Secures up the double touch in, sees it on that backboard, and just dunks it straight down into the net. A great play from Dayton to start off game number 4 strong, but Happy, he wants to try and get this ball back into the net. It's denied fast. Supreme rolls one off as well, but it's into the crossbar, and Carrot sees the ball mid, sees Bugga following as well, wants to just try to kill it under him, but Bugga a little too smart for that, manages to touch it, keeps it over towards that net. Supreme wants to try and fire it off. It's back over towards Carrot now, and he gets it back over towards the right wall. Wants to try and set up a teammate, but with nobody ready and waiting, he has to just try and grab some boost and fall back. Rick gets a good initial touch. It's over. Oh, it's over to the left corner now, and Carrot wants to try and follow it away, but quickly, no. Bugga going to set that straight back over into the net and finds himself an opportunity. A moment of weakness on the Dayton backline widens that goal. And just like that, 1-1. Rick back into this left corner, sees Ant trying to force the issue, manages to jump up in time, starts to get it away. Carrot wants to try and deny, but Supreme fast on the follow. Oh, a double touch, gets it back over. It bounces there off of the defender, but they manage to keep it away, Kentucky. But Supreme, he still wants to force this. Carrot doesn't want to let it out either. Booga trying his best, and Rick as well, just trying to slap it in, but Happy won't allow it. Supreme, a center back over towards that Kentucky box, but it's still just bouncing along the goal line. Oh, Ant finding it now on the left wall, wants to just try and set this up. Booga on the right side isn't quite set up for a passing play. Happy a little bit too far back as well, but Carrot, he doesn't quite get the touch he's looking for there. Uses up the rest of his boost, and now with 3 minutes left to go, it's still 1-1. We're about to enter over the halftime mark, and these two teams fighting desperately. Kentucky, they want to secure up a game 5, and Dayton, they just want to close it out here. It's back over. Bouncing off the backboard. Happy wants to find it. Can't quite. And Supreme, he's too fast on the follow-up. Manages just to get it rolling straight into the bottom left of net and secures up a 1-goal lead 20 seconds away from halftime. So now it's back over to Carrot. He sees this ball very pushed up into the blue corner. Wants to just touch it away. Manages to deny anybody from smacking it over the line. But Supreme trying to chase that ball. Ant just denies, and he's sort of center. Oh my goodness. Rick fires one off, and it's denied just barely along that goal line. It's back over. Booga kills it to the corner. Rick ready and waiting, but with no boost, he has to just fall off for Supreme to take the shot. Carrot meeting it over on the left wall, wants to try and center it back over towards mid, and the ball just gonna get boomed all the way back over towards net. And Supreme, he's trying to find a way to deny that ball, but it bounces off the crossbar right in front of his car, and he just can't help but put it inside that box. Now it's 2 minutes left to go. 2-2. As Kentucky do a great job at tying this one up, taking advantage of the wide open position in the back line of the Dayton defense. And now Rick firing one off himself, and that'll secure the lead back. A little over-aggressive there on the defense of Kentucky. They leave Rick with too good of a shot there on the right wall, and it just ends up being sunken directly in for the lead directly back. We're almost into the final 100 seconds. Happy wants to try and get this one strongly into the Dayton backline. Rick seeing it bounce off the ceiling, but Carrot goes forward and manages to take the initial touch. Happy wants to chase it over on this right wall. Booga hunting one of those defenders. He gets the bump, no demo, but the ball not centering itself up either. Time continuing to tick lower and lower, and Dayton's still sitting on this 1-goal lead now. Of course, only being 1 goal, it's just one mistake necessary for Kentucky to tie this back up, but the time is ticking lower and lower. 75 seconds to go, and it is starting to build up that pressure over on the Kentucky side. They need to win this one to keep them in the play, and for Dayton, I mean, they want to win it here, but if that ball would have gone in and tied it up, they know that they at least have one more game to play with if this one drops, so the pressure definitely building for the orange side. 50 seconds to go. Ant finding the ball, gets it pretty far into the Dayton end, but Supreme immediately plays it out. Happy sees it rolling towards him, wants to try and play it away, but goes for a little bit of an unorthodox hit, doesn't quite manage to hit it, and now it's back over. Booga, a boom straight into the end. It's Supreme! He meets it, sinks it back towards the net, and clips it almost as close to that crossbar as he can. It bounces clean off, and just like that, Dayton maintain their lead. That should have been the equalizer, but somehow Dayton managed to stay ungoaled on and hold on to their lead, and now there's only 12 seconds left. This looked like it was going to be going to overtime, but Dayton, on the precipice of allowing that goal, have allowed themselves to hold their lead, and now the time ticking down. Supreme finds it, booms it all the way over, and that should be it. Dayton University Flyers come out your victors 3-1. Wow, what great games we got to see down on the pitch. Congratulations, of course, to UConn and Dayton, both coming out with the same score line in the end, 3-1 victories for both of them. And of course, you gotta give a shout out to Davenport and the University of Kentucky C. They both put up great fights. They were tense matches the whole way through, but at the end of the day, there can only be one winner, or I guess in this case, two winners out of the four. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week for some more high-class Rocket League. Thanks, and see you next time.